let's get to it. So these are all the ingredients I'm going to use, minus the sweet potatoes. Hey guys, it's me. Because I did not get to that today. But we're gonna use potatoes to make some mashed potatoes. But you know what you gotta do first? You gotta pick out some badass potatoes. And I put 4, but then I added an additional one, so you guys see 5. So I'm cutting away. And I'm realizing as I'm cutting like the first potato that it's looking kind of wonky. Like there's little dots on it, and I'm trying to give it the benefit of the doubt, but I ended up throwing those out, which you'll see here in a bit. But I'm just slicing, shaving that off. And you know, it gets a little messy. You see I'm like flicking that shit everywhere. I should have gotten a bigger bowl, but I did not. But there you go. You see me tossing those out. I got new ones. I rinsed them off and everything, because it's just way easier to peel them when they're wet, and you want to get all that extra dirt. At that time, I did realize, oh shit, I ain't having my light on. Why bring the light in there if I ain't gonna use it? But I'm getting these potatoes out. Okay, and then you definitely gotta clean up your mess. Get that shit up, get it up, put it in the trash, and we're on to the next step. I did rinse them off, you know, a few times, wash them real good. Got my bowl ready with the water, start boiling, because I put the potato there and I forgot about boiling the water. I added a little salt in there, and I got me a nice knife to start chopping these potatoes. Now, I like to do it like horizontal, then start chopping in cube size. I wanted to use smaller ones because I wanted to save time. You can use bigger chunks. You can boil the whole potato if you like, minus the skin, unless that's something you like. But as you see, just chopping away, getting those nice sized chunks, because I want it to boil and turn into like mash as soon as possible. I used all 5 potatoes, but then I threw out the 2, and I added another large one and a small one, I believe. So I ended up having 5 still, but a really big one. That's me boiling the water, throwing those potatoes in, and then while those are boiling, I'm getting my ground beef, and my ground turkey ready. See, that's the ground beef, and this is the ground turkey. These were both from Hy-Vee. I like getting the rolls because it's like easy measurements for me. If not, I'll have to get freezer bags and freeze stuff if I have to get bigger ones. But this was my wheat crackers. I ground it up to kind of make this a meatloaf type of thing and make sure the meat combines and holds. Like if you were making sliders, you would do something similar to this, like a loaf. But that is my salt, my all-purpose citrus. That shit is good. Some minced onions. And I got this Kinder's red, like jalapeno garlic. Of course, I put a little accent. And that right there is some meatloaf seasoning. It was like half of a pack. There wasn't a lot left. My eggs crack. Oh, look at me. You know I didn't. And then the other egg. Normally you would use 3 eggs for like a mash. I mean, not a mash, but a meatloaf. But I'm using 2 because I don't want it to be too firm, but not too loose either. I put on my glove. Look at that. Breadcrumbs and all that. Yeah, that's me. And I'm mixing and mixing. This glove is pretty loose. I normally use other gloves, but this is what was available. We still wait on Amazon. Maybe that payment ain't went through, but yeah. Mix, mix, mix. Mix, mix, mix. Mix, mix, mix. And mix some more. And then you're like loafing this in a Pyrex pan. You can use a loaf pan, but this is gonna make it more so on the shepherd's pie side without like grounding the meat. I'm trying to do a loaf version of this so that when you're chopping these slices, the meat's not falling everywhere and you're getting like nice sized portions you could just chop off with your spoon or your fork. But I'm just smearing that in, making it all leveled because I want it as leveled as possible because I want it to bake nicely for the vegetables to be on top. I'm really jamming. Got that off of there. And then voila. I also wanted to add some garlic. So you know how people always buy like roasted garlic? I wanted to actually roast my own garlic. Fresh garlic because I love using fresh ingredients. Like anything that I could like make myself, I'm gonna try and do. Now every time it's not successful, but this is something that I just kind of came up with. Chopped it up. I'm like the mince queen. Like look at me chopping that shit like a fucking ninja. Like I'm definitely a ninja. But I'm getting it real minced because I don't like using the stuff in the jar because it kind of like looks creepy. This looks more like organic and free and natural and like realistic. Look at that. I'm about to roast this, ball it up. Just ball that shit up, put it in there. Oven. So I'm getting the mixed vegetables out. As you see, I was a little out of it. This wasn't like a day I wanted to cook, but this was going to be a one potter in the oven and I felt like it was going to be easy, but it was over 30 minutes. Totally worth it. I have no leftovers. So I am draining the potatoes, bringing it back over, getting ready to mix. Gotta get these vegetables out of here. I recommend not using a cup. I used a cup because I overthought this. But then I got sour cream, butter. I use plant butter and then salt and pepper. Put that milk in. Again, use half of a cup and then you start mashing. Use half of a cup. I used the whole cup because I wanted it to spread, you know, evenly and I wanted it to be kind of loose. That was recommended for shepherd's pie, but I should have definitely used half. It was a little more spreadable. Then I put the sour cream, the butter, the salt, and pepper. And again, we're using the pink Himalayan salt. Look at that. The meat looks gross. Ew. But then you put your mixed veggies on top. I recommend using frozen veggies if you want to keep it in the oven longer, but I used canned ones. And then you spread that mash on top. Real cute, real demure. And then you put your cheese on there. We're not big cheese eaters because like, yeah, we don't like to overdo it. We like a decent amount of cheese. And that roasted garlic, baby, look at that. It ain't too roasted, but it's roasted enough. Look at that ghetto little foil, you know. And parsley make everything look cute. I'm not sure the significance of the taste, but parsley make that shit look like demure, very like classy, bougie, very like, you know, look at that. That's the end result. And baby, look. Now this went 30 minutes, but it was worth it. Well worth it.